You're listening to the Experience Matters podcast, powered by Officium Labs. Each episode will focus on one challenge, talk to two experts, and offer three innovative solutions to propel you forward. It's the 1-2-3 punch to accelerate your customer experience results. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another very special edition of our Experience Matters podcast. My name is Nate Brown, and I've got three amazing guests with me today. First time we've ever had three people on stage with me, so this is very exciting. Of course, you recognize John Pompei. We've got Jonathan Shroyer, and we have a new guest with us, Robert. Hello, Robert, who's the EVP, the Executive Vice President, and Chief Growth Officer of Arise. How's it going today, Robert?
I'm good. How are you, Nate? Excited to be here with the Officium team.
Yeah, it's been a big day today. We've made a big announcement. Today is the day that we have been incubating something for quite some time, this partnership that we've been able to forge and put out to the world just today. The fact that Arise and Officium Labs is now one and the same. Here we are.
Yes, so exciting. We're super excited about the combination of these two businesses.
Yeah, so it's been a fun ride. The Officium crew, I feel like we've kind of been a rocket ship that made its way into orbit, but then we didn't know exactly where to go in space, and we found the International Space Station, and we were able to find that hub, and now we can make the magic happen in a way that we could not have done alone. So I've been having that metaphor in my mind. So would love for this episode, I think it would be good. Just to talk a little bit about with these three fine folks, what are you most excited for as we think about the future of service, as we think about be aware and be essential and bringing these things together? I mean, there's so much that has changed in the world of CX over these past couple of years. And these are two modern brands who have come together to really redefine the ways that we're engaging customers and the ways that we're thinking about customer service and CX. So I'd love to hear from John first. John, as we think about this partnership, what do you think we can do? What are you most excited for?
Yeah, I mean, when you think about Arise really creating the work at home approach years and years ago, and Officium really thinking about how we really change the whole workforce in the CX space. And the melding of the two is just powerful. And for me personally, it's really the value that we're going to be able to drive our clients. And I feel like Officium has been on this path, but Arise has these capabilities that's going to help us accelerate the value to our clients. And that is what excites me.
Love it. That's perfect. Robert, what are you thinking about? What are you most excited for?
Yeah, I love what John just shared, but I do think, though it's a horrible example and everybody uses it, this 1 + 1 = 3 thing. But it really is a place where the two brands together can actually really radically change and support brands as they think about what do customers want 10 years from now? What do brands need to deliver to customers 20 years from now, right? That's the type of thinking that we at Arise have been birthed on, and Officium has as well. So when you think about culturally, what are really the things that these organizations are trying to solve, helping customers to be there, helping customers to be aware, and helping customers to be essential to their customers, there was no doubt in our mind that we could do that faster and better with the two companies combined than separate. It just makes practical sense. It makes business sense. So I'm so excited for us to be able to start writing what is going to be history 20 years from now on how Arise and Officium have been able to help brands actually radically accelerate what they need to do in order to best serve their customers. Yeah. Exciting times.
I love your verbiage on that. I mean, the idea of being essential, but also making it happen in a way where you're reducing friction. You're taking the stress out of these experiences that are out there. I think that's so important in today's environment, especially. I mean, I know the Effortless Experience came out in 2011. But I feel like even still, most organizations are still really struggling with this idea of effort reduction and trying to find the right path to really be able to offer a stress-free experience to their customers. But I feel like Arise has found some special ways to do that. I mean, what's been some of your formula there, Robert?
Yeah, it's really to identify what problems are that exist in customers' ecosystems that no one else can solve and solve them. Right? So when you think about the ability to prescriptively match supply to customer demand. Still in today's environment, though we've been doing it for 27 years now, right? It's a very unique value proposition that Arise offers, right? And why should customers be forced to make a decision around their P&L to say, hey, in aggregate across a month, I want to deliver the following service level to customers? Customers deserve better. They deserve that every interval. They deserve that every time they make a call. They're not just a composite service level at the end of the month. They're an actual individual making a decision to have an interaction with the brand, and every interaction that a consumer has with your brand has to be meaningful. It has to be impactful. And Arise has created opportunities to help organizations do that just one step better, two steps better, three steps better than they were able to do without us within their ecosystem. It's just one quick example I'd give you, Nate. There's many more.
Love your heart on that. I mean, I feel like we've gotten so wrapped up into, and it's important, but efficiency and cost reduction. I mean, these things have to happen, but that's almost like cost of entry. That's just to get a seat at the table. Right now, it's about personalization. It is about having unique and really positive interactions with these customers. That's what's going to generate actual loyalty. That's what's going to get you a step ahead of the competition. And so it's great to see that we get to do that together. So, Jonathan, you have done something remarkable in the founding of Officium and in the creating this thing over the past 2.5 years and hitting all these different milestones and now guiding it through to today. So I'd love to hear from you. I mean, what's on the top of your mind in terms of what are you most excited for on this of all days?
Well, thanks, Nate. And it was great to hear what John and Robert shared. I mean, I think you're a little too kind to me, but I appreciate your kindness. When I think about why we created Officium initially, it was we saw this opportunity that two interesting components were coming together and converging. One was customers and the way that they want to engage and be treated was becoming more and more important to revenue and loyalty. And then the second was, and this was pre-COVID, the way that people work is going to change demonstrably over the next 2 decades. And so when I think about why we created Officium, how to drive ROI in the CX area, how to drive revenue and loyalty, as well as creating an ecosystem that can be flexible to help workers and communities in meaningful, impactful ways. As we go into orbit, as you like to say, we're not going to stop at the International Space Station. That'll be a hub where we're creating the enterprise that is going to go warp speed. Because we've got a company in Arise that's been doing this for 27 years. You look on their website, their mission vision statement is to change the way that people work. And that aligns to what we want. Their mission and vision statement talks about helping local communities thrive. That aligns to what we want. Their mission and vision statement talks about how do you deliver value, loyalty, ROI, and give what I like to call, they call be essential, but emotional affinity, Rochelle Devers, right? Give emotional affinity to where when a customer is not using your brand, they want to get back to your brand. It's almost like you become their Starbucks coffee in the morning. They can't live without that, and they can't live without Arise. And so that type of thought leadership, strategic vision across all of those areas, and then just the talent of both teams and the trajectory of where we're heading, I just think the industry might be surprised where we're going to be in 10 years. But all of us already know where we're headed, and we're headed that way together. So it's going to be pretty amazing. That's what I'm excited about.
I love it. Well, there's one more thing I think would be fun for the three of us to riff on a little bit, and that's the idea of culture. I was just at the HDI conference. Jonathan, you and I were at Frost and Sullivan together, and team dynamics and culture was such a hot topic at both of those environments. I mean, we have the Great Recession going on. We have a lot of people that have become disconnected from their workplaces through a variety of unfortunate circumstances, and they're trying to get reconnected, and leaders are trying to reconnect them. I mean, you have two organizations here that have come together with really, really strong cultures. I mean, Officium just was recognized through a major award as a culture organization. Arise has always been that. I mean, incredible ratings on Glassdoor and just a reputation as being out there as as one who treats your workers so well through this space through so many years. So I'd love to hear from Robert first. I mean, what have you done, and what in your mind has helped to lead to such an authentic and long-lasting culture?
It's a great question, Nate. I think the key, and I'll just use a word that you used, is authentic, right? You have to fundamentally care about the people that you're doing life with, that are an extension of your family, right? And I know I take personal accountability and responsibility for the individuals that leverage the Arise platform and their ability to kind of do with the revenue they earn what they want to do in life, right? Whether or not that's do special things with their family, right? Pay bills practically, right? Save for events because it's supplemental income. You have to care about that, right? And when you care about those things, right, then in turn, you're going to be focused on delivering and sustaining and maintaining a culture that enables that and fosters that, right?
Yeah.
But it goes without saying as well, you have to have practical things in place to identify where things go wrong so you can solve for them. So I think about it no different than you would think about a journey map that we would build for our customer to say,
Right.
hey, here's the ideal state for this interaction for this individual providing service to a firm. Like, where does it go wrong and how do we solve for that, right? And how do we maintain continuing to elevate that, right? And elevating that experience. So as people think about, and at these conferences, I know you guys have attended, I've attended a few recently where there's a lot of conversation about engagement, right?
Yep.
There's no other industry that should be well equipped to develop a journey for delighting individuals than the one that we're in, right?
That's right.
Take a look at what we're doing for customers, and therein, right, is the answer to how you would operationalize and improve culture, right?
Love
I've
it.
always thought that way. That's how we built it here at Arise, and I'm excited that Officium does exactly the same thing.
I think that's part of the reason that this worked out so well. So, John, love to hear from you. Same question.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about people, right? And I think that when you talk to anyone within the Arise organization or anyone within the Officium organization, they always start talking about people. And people could be employees, it could be clients, it could be the customers of the clients. And as long as you're living and breathing and thinking and operating that way, you're going to make the right decision for the people. And that is the culture that I came into in Officium. That is the culture I know that Robert and Scott and everyone have been living and building at Arise. And again, that is one of the things in the early days of due diligence when we started talking to one another that was important to both organizations. And it came across loud and clear that it was at the top of the food chain for both organizations. And that's what's going to make this really, really special going forward.
I love it. Jonathan, what are your thoughts?
So there's a call center show in the UK that came out, I think it was 2001, 2002. And it was about this gentleman who bought a sales call center. And he operated his call center in such a unique and different way than any other call center I'd ever been into at that point. And he had one mantra: happy people sell. And so he used to have tea carts that would go through. He would have competitions. They would have weekly cookouts. He really made the experience for the employees to be a place, since they're going to spend 8 hours of their day, 40 hours of their week, the best type of experience they could have. Because he knew if they were happy, if they were motivated in this particular business, he was in sales, they would sell better. And he had statistical data to prove it. When you think about customer experience and you think about each person that contributes to that, you have to remember that while customers build the company, people are the heart. And if you're not taking care of your heart, then you can't build anything. And those are my thoughts on that.
Yeah, certainly not the enterprise, and not anything that's going to get you into deep space.
That's
So
right.
I think you're right. Very cool. Well, thank you three so much. I'm just thrilled for this. I think it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful partnership. And yeah, I mean, really, culture at the end of the day is the way we do things, and it's the behaviors and the mentalities that really back that up. And the way that we think about the things that we need to do together, it is aligned so much, as is clear right here with the union of these four minds. And I think it just makes for a very good omen of things to come in our ability to reach out and impact customers in a really positive way. So cheers to that. I think many more great things to come with this crew right here. You'll see many more things from Robert and from the combined team of Officium and Arise. But until our next episode, make experiences that matter. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks all.
Thanks for listening to the Experience Matters podcast, your 1, 2, 3 punch to overcome CX challenges. For more information on making experiences that matter, visit www.officiumlabs.io or connect with us on LinkedIn.